morning, everyone. My name is Jim Tack, and I'm Executive Director of Forward in the Fifth, and would like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you to the center this morning for a very exciting announcement. As many of you know, this facility was envisioned by Congressman Rogers as a one-stop hub for our region to improve education, improve economic development, improve tourism, and many other issues that the 5th Congressional District has on the forefront. Headquartered in this beautiful building include affiliates such as Southern Kentucky Economic Development Corporation, Tour Southern and Eastern Kentucky, Pride, Unite, Forward in the Fifth, and then obviously the Center for Rural Development. Each of these organizations' qualified staff help us move the region forward so Southern and Eastern Kentucky can reach their fullest potential. In laying the foundations for today's gathering, I would like to take just a couple minutes to talk about Forward in the Fifth, its past, and where we are today. Forward in the Fifth was a brainchild of Congressman Rogers 25 years ago. He and other community leaders across the region were greatly alarmed about the huge discrepancies in educational attainment and performance among his region and the rest of the nation. Early in the 1980s, reports began to illustrate that Kentucky's 5th Congressional District was ranked dead last in the nation, 435 out of 435 congressional districts in educational attainment. Desiring to see the pendulum swing the other direction, Congressman Rogers challenged key stakeholders across the region to immediately begin working on this grave problem. Educators, community leaders, businesses, parents, and students began to step up to address some of the big challenges faced in our region. In fact, Forward in the Fifth was one of the early catalysts in seeing a need to overhaul the Commonwealth's education system, including educational reform that took place in our K-12 system to adequately prepare our young people. Many of us in this room know that just a few years ago, these discussions centered around CARA and education reform, and has since moved into another arena with recently Senate Bill 1. As with any reform, it caused everyone to take a serious look at what was going on in their classrooms, our universities, and our communities to advance education. It also charged us as a state to step up to the plate and raise our expectations for everyone involved in the state's education. That role was embraced by Forward in the Fifth by providing quality professional development to the region's administrators and educators. That role was embraced by Forward in the Fifth by providing relevant programs and supports to our students to prepare them for what was to come at the turn of the century. That role was embraced by Forward in the Fifth by equipping parents with the knowledge and skills they needed to assist their students in achieving academic achievement. And that role was embraced by communities and their leaders by mobilizing and working together to get the most from their young people and adults through greater educational experiences. This morning, we're calling our communities across the region to join in partnership with their educational institutions and vested stakeholders to rekindle their relationship to further education and its residents. Regardless where we all fall in the educational attainment yardstick, we all can and must move ourselves to the next level. Forward in the Fifth's local education affiliate program, or LEAP, will identify willing individuals in a given county to identify critical education-related challenges, pose viable solutions, and pull enthusiasm, energy, and resources to advance educational attainment desired by the community's residents. Each LEAP program will have the freedom to tackle some of education's toughest issues based on its needs and concerns. Similar affiliate programs have shown tremendous success as we look at the work of Unite, Pride, and even previous Forward in the Fifth organizings. It is this grassroots approach that Congressman Rogers envisioned 25 years ago that will truly raise education in Southern and Eastern Kentucky to something that we're all proud of. Congressman Rogers has an unwavering passion and love for his district and the people across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Time and time again, he has listened to his constituents in southern and eastern Kentucky and tackled some of the toughest issues, from education to job creation, from cleaning up our hills and roadsides to loosening the stronghold of drugs on our residents and their communities, from preserving our Appalachian heritage to enjoying our region's resources and beauty. In the 16th congressional term, Hal is the longest-serving Kentucky Republican ever elected to federal office. Previously serving on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the House Budget Committee, and numerous caucuses, he is now chairman of the House Appropriations Committee. In this task, he has the unimaginable responsibility of crafting a realistic budget, advancing our country, but also keeping this within our means. Growing up in neighboring Wayne County, Congressman Rogers knew at a very young age that education was his ticket for success for himself and those around him. Throughout his educational career, attending Monticello and graduating from Wayne County High School in 1955, obtained his bachelor's degree from the University of Kentucky in 1962 and his law degree in 1964 from UK. His value of education was high. Unfortunately, he had to leave his hometown to find employment early in his career. While he has learned a great deal from this experience, it is not an experience he desires for the region's young people to continue. It is on this premise that the Center for Rural Development has created 3 successful youth programs: our Rogers Explorers, Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute, and Rogers Scholars. We're setting a daring goal. No young person should ever have to leave his or her county to find his or her future, Congressman Rogers stated many years ago. He knows too well the dangers of losing our young minds to other parts of the region, state, or nation when opportunities do not exist in their home communities. That danger has become a reality for far too many counties. The reality is that the entire community must work together to educate, employ, and foster each generation to provide opportunities for individuals to stay within our region. In one of the poorest districts in the country, Congressman Rogers has made education a priority. He continues to challenge us to increase our high school graduation rates, engage more young people to obtain post-secondary education certificates and degrees, seek solutions to reduce the need for developmental coursework between exiting of high school and entering post-secondary institutions, effectively addressing student safety and bullying issues, implementing student health and wellness initiatives, recruiting and providing quality educators in all classrooms across the region, addressing the continued need for family and community supports for young people not coming from stable environments. The list could go on. I'm proud to say that his tremendous vision has enabled us to move forward, and we will continue to move forward in the region. Please welcome me and say good morning to Congressman Hal Rogers.
Thank you, Jim, for that overly generous introduction. Like Mae West once said, too much of a good thing is simply wonderful. Well, welcome to the center, and welcome to the Forward 5th headquarters here. It's a delight to see each one of you here from different parts of our region. I'll never forget the U.S. News and World Report story 25 or 6 years ago that put in print what I guess a lot of us had suspected but never really wanted to face up to. And that was that we were not keeping our youngsters in school through high school graduation. We ranked first in the country, or last if you want to put it that way, in the percent of high school graduates living among us. And that was a shock to see that in print. I think a lot of us had suspected that there were some bad statistics, but we never had really seen it printed in U.S. News and World Report did. And that shook up educators, it shook up civic leadership, it shook up politicians, it shook up teachers and professors and professionals across the board. It struck me in a real debilitating way. And because of that, we called together a conference at Shakertown Village. I went to see Al Smith, who was the publisher at that time of the London newspaper, and a highly respected civic and educational leader in the state. And we sat down and talked about what could be done, what might be tried, and so on. And we decided to call together leading educators, civic leaders from the whole region. And we spent a weekend over at Shakertown in a very structured way, going through what might be tried and what was wrong and what we could try to make happen. And out of that grew this organization that's called Florida Fifth. It's a name that Al Smith came up with, to be frank with you. At that time, the 5th District was quite a bit different geographically than it is now. If you recollect, the 5th District at that time ran from Harlan in the east to Monroe County in the west, and up to including a portion of Jessamine County near Lexington. Now, as you know, the district has changed so that it runs from here to West Virginia, Tennessee. So it is quite a bit different, but with the same basic characteristics. We've always struggled in both regions that we're talking about with education attainment. And we've struggled with the financing of education. These are basically poor counties in a poor state. And with fewer high school graduates among us, sometimes not a lot of enthusiasm for education. So those were the difficulties that we faced at that time, and frankly, we still face to a large degree. But a new age has dawned. Now we are learning more and more about the importance of education, at least high school basic education, in the effort to find jobs and recruit industry and businesses to our region. They are looking for an educated workforce. And just besides the intrinsic importance of having an education and the enjoyment of life that gives one, education is now an economic necessity for the individual and for our region. So we've got to prepare a more flexible workforce. We've got to prepare our workforce for the new types of jobs that are out there. And I like to sort of halfway kiddingly say that you and I live in Silicon Valley because of the new jobs, new industry that exists in this world. And we've got to train our workforce to work in that new atmosphere that's out there. So your challenges today involve much more than just dropout rates. We have to contend with the new workforce requirements that the world has put upon us. We've got great schools today. We've got great teachers today. But we've got to focus on the details of our students. The new local education affiliate program, LEAP, that we're announcing today, is designed to investigate the needs and fine-tune a solution to those needs that you find. You'll be able to focus on what your community needs the most. It may be teacher effectiveness, it might be marketing a positive education message, It may be providing student services or improving civic literacy. Today, teachers are dealing with student home life issues nearly as much, really, as you're teaching math and science. The drug problem has invaded our schools as well, to what our youth are experiencing at home and inside the classroom. Tuesday night, I went to a Unite Coalition banquet in Rockcastle County. 600 people, civic leadership. Rockcastle County is alive and kicking in trying to fight the drug problem, while they also are improving the education system. Every single county school over there, all 5 of them, have Unite clubs, and they're very active as well in the Pride Cleanup campaign. This young generation is learning the importance of helping classmates, caring for the environment, staying in school, and living drug-free. Those are the goals. I also recently visited the Corbin Middle School, where the students had access to computers in every grade. Computers literally lining the walls. The chairs in front of them filled with kids. The new Harlan County High School is an absolute marvel. It beats anything I've seen anywhere anytime. They've got the latest gadgets, technology tools, bright and cheerful new surroundings. So great things are happening in our schools. I'm encouraged by our progress and opportunities for progress. And I've seen a dramatic change in the 25 years since we first kicked off Forward in the Fifth. But I hate to tell you this, but it's only 16 inches between a pat on the back and a kick in the rump. And I'm here to do both today. I want to congratulate Forward in the Fifth for the progress you've made in the revitalization of this organization. You know, we sort of went through a downtime there, but in the recent months, with Jim leading the way, we're seeing a revitalization of this organization, and I appreciate so much your being willing to be a part of it, to bring new ideas, to lead us through this new age that we live in. So we're going to need every ounce of energy and talent that you've got. And I think we've got a good group here to share that with. This is a great resource, this organization, in bridging the gap between educational leaders and business leaders in the region. This is where the rubber meets the road. I like it. So we look forward to great results from the LEAP projects being awarded here today. And we want to wish you Godspeed in all the work that you do. So keep up your great work. And we'll be watching and helping any way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman, for your insight, for your words, and for your willingness to help us solve some of the education's largest challenges in our region. Our task at hand now is to celebrate in the award of 3 local LEAP awards across southern and eastern Kentucky. Each of these 3 communities have stepped up to the plate in their commitment and willingness to solve some of the tough challenges that Congressman Rogers mentioned. What I would ask is, as we introduce each of our recipients, if someone from your group will come up and give us a brief summary of what you hope to accomplish, your vision for this award, and in partnership with your other community members that you have identified in your plan, and then we will move to our next one. Our first recipient are the Clay County Public Schools.
Thank you for this opportunity. In Clay County, we realize the dropout problem is not a high school problem, it's not a middle school problem, it's not an elementary issue, but it is a community issue fix will continue to hamper the education, health, and economic viability of Clay County. We know that nationally, a high school dropout makes on average $16,000 a year less than someone who has their high school diploma. We also know that a student who drops out is more likely to be incarcerated, rely on public assistance, and go without health insurance. But dropping out of school is also a matter of life and death. A student who drops out has a life expectancy of 7 years less than a high school graduate. So to address this issue in the Clay County schools and community, we came together to unite. And as you know, Congressman Rogers, when we unite together, we can solve some problems. Our mission is for all students to graduate on time. This grant focuses on 2 of several projects developed at our recent Graduate Clay County Summits. These summits were attended by our community and business leaders, by our educators, but most importantly, by students. And the projects supported by this grant are those ideas from the students. But first, the students want to form student support teams at both our middle school and our high school. These teams will develop strategies and programs that will support their peers who are at risk of dropping out. Secondly, we're going to design a media campaign that will provide information to students and families regarding the consequences of dropping out of school and offer encouragement to stay in school. Congressman Rogers, Mr. Tackett, and board and 3 board members, on behalf of our students, the educators in our community, we thank you for providing this opportunity to support our effort to reclaim the economic viability of our county, one student at a time, as we work to end the dropout problem in Clay County so that all students will graduate on time. Thank you.
And I must say, I attended one of the meetings that Dr. Allen referred to, and it was very exciting to see the energy and the enthusiasm generated by those students. And many of the adults took a back seat, and rightfully so. So they're front and center in this project, and we're looking forward to see the great results. Our second award winner is Monroe County.
First of all, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to be a part of this partnership. We have some great things that are going on in Monroe County. We are number 4 in the county districts with college and career readiness. Every time we see a problem, we try to attack it with everything we have. And dropout was a problem for us as well. We went in the past 2 years from 20 plus dropouts to 0. And we are at 0 for this current year. So when we were crunching that data, we also came up with a gap that we saw, and we were tracking these individual children from elementary school all the way through their high school, and we would see that downward trend in their academic achievement levels. So with this seed money, we had already started looking at targeting these children that we were losing as they were progressing through our system. And this seed money will help begin that mentoring program to target these students with intensive intervention, to mentor them and to pair them with someone in our school district, because we feel that as they become vested in their education, their success level, their academic levels, their productivity levels as in life in general will raise. We are going to do professional development with our teachers. We're going to do home visits with these targeted students. We have a very intensive plan laid out and already underway to target those kids that we most need to reach. This is a tremendous opportunity for us, and we thank you for, in the days of budget cuts and we lose our funding, this is an idea that we wanted to do and it had been held back due to budgetary reasons, and because of this grant, we are going to attack it full on just like we have with everything else. Thank you.
I think all of us would agree that any student that doesn't finish high school is too many. So I salute Monroe County for addressing and following those students and making sure that they are successful in the future as well. Our final award recipient this morning is Pulaski County Schools.
Powers is the Community Ed Director. We have Carol Sexton here from the Pulaski County Public Library, and Beth Hargis is the principal of the Kentucky Tech Pulaski County Area Technology Center. Pulaski County Schools have been very busy over the years improving our education for our students. The result has been increased test scores and increases in proficiency. The past round of test scores ranked us 27th among Kentucky's 174 school districts, and that has been a very vast improvement over the years. We're also a leader in the 5th Congressional District now. And one of the keys to that has been reading. Just as it is important to improve the way we teach and improve our literacy efforts, we have developed a program called Ring the Bell for Literacy, which is designed to help motivation of young people. The program works in our elementary schools where we provide students access to books that will be their first book. The students have to read that book out loud to a teacher, principal, or librarian in the school and discuss it with them. And once they've shown that they're able to do that, they're certified to come and ring the literacy bell at the public library. So that periodically they come, we bring our kids into the library, they listen to community speakers, maybe have a pizza lunch, and then they get to push the button. And that's a big deal to a young person. It might sound a little cheesy to some of us who are busy in the workplace, but to a first grader or a kindergartner to push that button and hear the bell ring is a big deal. So the response we've seen has been not only good for the kids, but also when parents and grandparents get involved, they see the importance of reading and they get involved. So, you know, improving education in our community has not been an easy task. There's a lot of work to be done, and this program is part of a bigger effort that we're doing, but we're also very grateful to Ford and Fifth and many others that make this possible. Thank you.
As you can see in our awardees, we're scanning the spectrum as far as our young students as well as those students that are toward the end of their education career at the high school level as well. So it's exciting to see that, and I again thank each of you for your commitment to education, both from the school system as well as our community stakeholders and partners that will be working with you on these endeavors. I'll leave with you this morning a note from Congressman Rogers. At a recent board meeting that he attended, one of the discussions that we had was related to how do we keep our students interested and in school? Because we know that if they are not there, then all other lines break down. But the idea of how do we make education fun? How do we make it engaging and exciting for our students? Now, in doing that, that doesn't mean that we have to relax the challenges, the rigor, but we need to find those hooks, those things that will encourage those students to come to school excited and willing to learn and interested in learning. Through those programs, through those opportunities, will we extend and strengthen the value of education across our region, which is something that we all see and want to do. So again, from Ford and the Fifth, from our board of directors, from Congressman Rogers, we extend our appreciation to you for being here. We extend our appreciation to you for being willing to step up to the plate this morning and solve some of education's challenges that we see in our region. We look forward to hearing about your success and having you mentor additional recipients in the future. Thank you very much.